What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lynette Jackson, and it's Tuesday. It's podcast day. It's time to speak out loud. And I am super excited to be with you yet another week with another fabulous guest. And my guest is fabulous. I've known her for, oh God, I'm going to date myself, probably 25, 30 years, even probably longer than that. And she's been like a yummy, beautiful sister. I love her to life. And I am super excited to bring you her story behind the brand. I think today is going to be extremely life-changing. So grab your sisters, grab your friends, grab your wife, grab your mama. All ladies, let's get around your devices. It's time to speak out loud with my special guest, Miss Deneen Carter Whatley. Let's go.
You're watching Speak Out Loud, the story behind the brand.
About that, see how modest she is, y'all? But let's go. So roasted crickets, I'm like, not eating that.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Every day showing up, even when you don't feel like it.
And now your host, Lynette Jackson.
Hey, that's right. I am your host, Lynette Jackson. You know what? I'd be listening to the music and the opening, and I just get so excited because I know I get to talk to you guys, and I just get to share what's on my heart. And but I want to say today is the 31st of January, and I posted on Facebook. If you were watching, Speak Out Loud's 1 year old today. We did our first official podcast last year, December 31st, with Mr. Glenn P. Brooks Jr. He kicked us off. We did some beta testing prior to, but the official show was on the 31st, and I am super excited about that. And love coming to you for 1 year. So let's keep it going every Tuesday, right? Well, for all those that know me, my name's Lynette Jackson. You know me, I'm here. I'm just, that flamingo that's out the cage, right? But for those who don't, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Lynette. I am the owner of Roar Media Group. Roar is a digital marketing company that helps its clients speak out loud in the marketplace. And here's something that I want to show you about Roar.
Roar Media Group is a full-service digital marketing, branding, and web development agency. Our mission is to help our clients speak out loud in the marketplace and grow their businesses by leveraging the power of digital media. We specialize in creating customized strategies that are tailored to meet each customer's unique needs and objectives. At Roar Media Group, we utilize cutting-edge technologies and proven strategies to create innovative digital marketing, branding, and web development solutions. Our team of experts is dedicated to helping our customers reach their goals by providing strategic advice and support. Contact us today at roarmediagroup.com and schedule your free consultation.
That's right. It is free. Believe it or not, it's a free consultation. So just log on to our website, roarmediagroup.com. Listen, I started this business because there was a need to provide quality graphics at affordable prices. And I do it for churches, small business, and ministries. And I would love to do it for you. Now on to the show. So I am not my hair. Now, y'all know this girl loves some her. Okay, that's how we say it, her. I love my hair. So you may see my hair parted on the side. You may see me with bangs. You may see me with the part down the middle. I could be short. I could have curls. I could have long curls. You just never know how I feel. And that's how I feel. It's like, hey, if I want to be these things, I can be these things. But do you know that we, as Black women, have been defined by our hair? And so today, Our show is called I Am Not My Hair. And my guest is going to talk about her journey of self discovery and freedom through her hair. She says, I am not my hair, says my guest, Miss Deneen Carter Whatley. My hair loss led me to do a total reset of my life. And I feel great. That's the most important part, is that I feel great. There is no surprise that the hair, wig, and weave industry is a multi-million and trillion-dollar enterprise. And in some societies, hair has become a symbol of beauty, femininity, and even power, right? But when my guest started losing her hair, she saw it was an opportunity to do a total reset, spirit, soul, and body. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so honored, and I'm going to try not to cry today, but y'all know me, I'm a crier. But I'm going to try not to cry today, but I am so honored to bring this story behind the brand of my dear friend, Miss Deneen Carter Whatley. Hello, Deneen.
Hey, Nettie.
I know. See, they don't know that name,
Lynette.
But that's okay.
Hi, Lynette.
But listen, I've been your Nettie for so long. You and Marvin Jones call me Nettie. Like,
Yeah.
What's up, Nettie? I've been your Nettie for a long, long time, girl. How are you?
I am good. I am good.
Well,
I am
you look
relaxed.
amazing.
I'm cold. Thank you, sweetie. I'm cold though right now, honey. In Texas, we are
Okay.
iced and snowed in. It's 25 degrees,
Well,
but it feels like 10 degrees below.
oh my goodness. So it's 66 degrees here in Atlanta, not to just put anything
Girl,
down, but
yeah,
as
don't.
you can see, I am fogging up in my glasses because I'm warm. Okay. And, sidebar, to do this podcast, I had to turn the air on because I'm under lights. I've got this, I got my unit on, and then I've got this headpiece on, this headsets on, which makes things compress. So I'm like, whew, I'm burning up.
Did she say she have her unit on?
My unit.
Yes.
Let me put on my little, yes, I have on my unit. Absolutely. Because that's what I hear they're called these days. Your unit.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. It's a unit.
It's a
Right.
unit. And you know what? Sometimes I want to be, like I said, ooh, when I go in the closet and I look, I say, you come here. I'm going to wear you today. You're going to be, I'm wearing side part today, right? Or I can be like, And then sometimes I say, everybody in the pool, everybody getting their hair washed today. All God's children gonna be blessed and get their hair washed, because I love my
get
unit.
baptized with water.
We're gonna baptize everybody today, and then you see them sitting all around the house on their little stands on their wig heads. They drying and they air drying, but so hey, yes. So I got all that stuff on, and now I'm sweating. But it is 66 degrees here in Atlanta. But hey, tomorrow it could be 40, it could be 20, it could be 10. You never know.
Right.
We're in Atlanta, right? But I'm super excited that, you know what, we're at the end of the month, and tomorrow is February.
Tomorrow
1st.
is February. Exactly.
So 2023 is moving really quick. It's moving really super quick. So Deneen, let me just say that I always start off asking my guests to give us the 4 clarity questions, because that's how we start our ball rolling. And that is, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? And who do you have the pleasure to do it for?
I am Deneen.
Right.
Let's get it straight right from the beginning. I am Deneen, boo.
I am going to get my pad, because I know you are going to drop some nuggets. So this is live. This is what I do. I take notes on all my guests, because I'm always in school when I interview a person and I understand the story behind their brand. So as you said, I am Deneen. Let's
That's
go.
right. That's that background from being secretaries. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, girl, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, I am Deneen. I have a ministry called Women Walking in the Word, and I actually deal with women. Basically, no woman left behind. And through the No Woman Left Behind, I do conferences. I mentor women. I actually just took on 6 women mentoring them through the process of their business, their ministry, their life, and everything. So it has just been like amazing. These girls are awesome. And they're like from, I guess I want to say 40, probably 30, probably in the mid 30s to 60 something in age. And why do I do what I do? I love women. I love to see people walk in what God called them to do, walk in their purpose. And there's so many things life hinders us at times from walking in our purpose. It stops destiny at times, life. Well, physically it does, but spiritually it doesn't. And we have to catch up with the spirit.
Okay.
And get out of
I'm going to give a disclaimer right now. She is a preacher.
Yes.
So if
yes,
she
I
might
am.
go off on you now. She might go off on us tonight and preach, but that would be okay because it's in her. So go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So actually my reset, I started this conference, December the 10th was the first time. And I thank God for it. I was like, okay, we need to do a reset. Everybody needs a reset because we're going here. They're been pulling from all types of directions and everything. And, and you're so cluttered. You have all these dreams and visions, things that you got your hand over here, irons in the fire. That's it. We've got a lot of irons in the fire and we need a reset. We need to figure out how do we get to where we need to get to. And so the night before the conference, one of my girls flew down from Las Vegas to assist me. And we were setting up and everything. And I was like, girl, I've been contemplating on my hair. I mean, I looked like Bozo the Clown, right? My hair was long down here. I was balding up here. And I'm like, all of this, I just feel like like my head was just stuffed, you know what I mean? Like just a stuffed turkey, like, right? And so I was like, this is like one of my girlfriends, she's like, you need to just cut it off and shorten. I said, girl, I will never go bald headed. Okay. I will never do short hair. No, that baby, I got to have her wigs, honey. Okay.
And I will never do the big chop. You will never do the big chop.
Oh, I would never. That was like 4 months ago. And one day I was looking in the mirror and I sometimes you have to tell yourself, good morning, gorgeous. You just have to tell yourself that you look good, right? And so even though I had these long ponytails and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that one day, girl, but I got to get myself together.
So you got to get some courage.
I got to get some courage. Okay. So that night, we were talking and we had to go to Walmart, right? And I said, girl, I want to cut all my hair off. She's like, you do? Okay. Let's go get some stuff. Let's go get some shavers and some whatever we have to do, some stuff, whatever the guys use. I said, girl, you going to do it? She said, I'm going to do it. Got into the hotel room. I said, you know what? I want to do it. I did it right at 12 o'clock a.m. I said, I want to reset before I stand before the women and help them reset in their lives.
Wow.
And so when she cut the first plait, Lynette, I thought I was going to be, oh my God, crying and everything. Oh, my hair and all this, right? When she cut the first plait, I literally felt my body just go, just a release. And then she cut the other plait. It was 4 plaits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She cut all 4 plaits. And by the time she started shaving, I can't even describe the freedom that I had.
Oh, my goodness.
Not a tear was shedded.
My goodness.
Not a tear. Now, I did wear my wig that night. Girl, don't play.
So I'm trying to be free, Lord. Help me, Lord.
Help me, Jesus, okay? But you know what? In the middle of the event, in the middle of the event, I started telling the ladies about my reset. I said, and in order for me to be an example for you all, I wanted to do a reset. And my reset was totally different from what you guys are experiencing tonight. And I told them what I did. And then I showed them.
Girl, you took your hair off.
I took my hair off, girl.
Yes.
And they were like, oh my God, you look absolutely beautiful. Go ahead. I said, girl, I had to Wakandarize myself. I am the general of Wakanda today. Okay.
Okay.
And so one of the ladies came up to me afterwards and she said, I thank you so much for your transparency. If
Mhm.
so many people would just, ministers would be transparent, you could
Yes.
change so many lives. She said, can you show me how your hair looked before? And
Mm.
her hair was the same way.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
She was going
goodness.
through the
Oh
same
my goodness.
thing.
Yes. Yes.
Just beautiful, you know. So you never know. You have to allow God to change you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Our
Mhm.
outer appearance does reflect our inside,
Absolutely.
but if we allow God to change that, it changes from the inside out. It
Correct.
doesn't matter how you look on the
Yes.
outside,
I think it just
because
goes back to understanding who you are as a woman now.
exactly.
So society has fed us this, as women. Um, we've been sitting in the kitchens getting our hair pressed. I didn't, I remember my sister one time didn't go to this huge like graduate. Matter of fact, it was my oldest sister's graduation. She didn't want to go to my older sister's graduation from high school because she did not want to sit down and get her hair done. And back here is called the kitchen. So she didn't want to sit in the kitchen and get the
Get her,
kitchen done. Y'all remember the kitchen? I ain't lying. I ain't lied. I ain't lied. Because back then you get that mama be like, she trying to press him, and then she got the blow because it's coming straight off
take
that
us back.
fire.
Take us back.
I'm taking you back now.
Take
It's
us
coming
back.
straight off the fire, right? And
Right.
it's going into your head.
Right.
And you got the ow, wait, and you're jumping and you're moving and you're sitting between somebody's legs in the kitchen, okay, with a straightening comb, okay. And then if you were really good, you could do the Marcel curlers, click, click, click,
Mhm.
click, click, click. And I remember they cool them off. They would just spin them.
Right.
Y'all, I'm 61. I'll be 62 this year.
Oh my God, you look amazing,
I'm trying to
girl.
help y'all. Thank you. But I'm
Oh,
trying to help y'all what we used to go through. Y'all don't have it like that. Y'all are in the natural hair state, but to wear our hair natural. Come on, somebody, be with me out here today. Come on and chime in with this and let me know y'all hearing us. To wear your hair natural back in the day, in our days, in my days, was considered to be very not beautiful. We weren't beautiful. To have an afro, to not have it straight. You wanted to have long, curly, beautiful locks. And so I believe even back then we were programming all of our girls, our children, our women, and even when they grow up, to look at ourselves to say we're not beautiful because we were told that we were not beautiful. Then society shows us that long, beautiful locks is what beautiful women have, and if you have natural hair, you are not beautiful, and so you must process your hair, or you. That's why we went through the painstaking challenges to sit at and have maybe a straightening comb at 400 degrees pass through our hair,
yeah.
to make sure that happened. And God knows if it rained, if it rained, I feel like Tyler Perry, hello. But if
Hello.
it rained on you, it was like poof. And so that was not considered to be beautiful. So for you to make a big step like this in a world today where the hair industry is a multi-trillion-dollar hair industry, and for you to say, I'm going to be free, and even to do the podcast today, without any hair, without your wig, to say, I'm being free. I think it is a brilliant, most awesome thing. But that just kind of goes back to who you are, Deneen. I've known you, like I said, 20, 25, 30 years.
Mhm.
We went to the same church. And you went through minister's education, what they called med school at World Changers. I was on staff at World Changers, and I've met you during that time. You are such a blessing. You have been a motivator and an inspirer for years because you have been a visionary. Let me just tell you about yourself, okay?
Okay.
You've been a visionary a long time ago. You were when you accepted your call to motivate and encourage and empower women, you started. Like, you didn't need nobody to tell you or to approve you to tell you that you were okay to step out and start doing your calling. And I always admired that about you, honey. Always admire that about you. You would say, okay, well, I'm in this, and I loved your blind faith. So I'm gonna start, I'm gonna have a women's conference. And I never forget you, it was at the Sheridan Gateway, wasn't that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people like us wasn't stepping out
Mm-hmm.
to do conferences at hotels,
Right.
but you were. And so we came from the same environment. And even that same environment, I didn't even believe in my calling because I allowed the organization to tell me that I wasn't called because I was not accepted into med school and to minister's education school, the one that you graduated from and became licensed as a minister.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, but you were always a visionary, doing what God called you to do. And I've always admired that about you because you're like, hey, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a women's ministry. And you had so many women. I'll never forget that conference. I spoke at that conference for you, but you had so many women. And then you believed in me to say, I want you to speak. I want you to speak. I remember getting free at that conference myself because I told some things about myself that I did not even think I would ever speak.
Mm-hmm.
But you set people free, set free ministries, set people free. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it was all about. And so this is just a continuation on how God is using you to continue to set women free, to leave no women behind. So I want to talk about No Woman Left Behind because I just love the fact that you're still out here doing what you're supposed to do. And you say, I ain't going to leave not one woman behind. Tell us about One Woman Left Behind before we really get back into the story about your hair. Because I really want people to know the fabric of who you are.
You know what? I looked back over my life. Everything that I do is a result of my life and what has happened with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I needed women to help me get to the level that I needed to get to, they were not there.
Yes, that's true.
They didn't help me.
That's true. No,
You know what I mean?
I listen, we came from the same place. I get it.
It's
They
like one told me one time, well, I got mine, you got to get yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
But that's okay though. That's okay.
It's
they
like,
had to say that because God had to show you that he was with you, not the institution. Not the institution.
Exactly. You know, and I remember when in 2004 when I spoke at World Changes, the women's conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were in a women's ministry meeting and Pastor Taffy was up talking.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, she started, well, let me go back. When we were first at church and they were announcing the women's conference and they said the women, the conference, what do you call that? The speakers that, workshop speakers.
Okay.
The workshop speakers, the announcer said, the workshop speakers have not been announced yet, coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the Holy Spirit say, I was sitting on the front row. I heard the Holy Spirit say, you're going to be one of those speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I said, devil, don't be messing with me on this front row. You know that ain't going to happen. Okay. It just don't happen in life. Right. And he said, in 3 weeks, you'll know that you're going to be one of the speakers.
Wow.
And so we were at a women's conference and Pastor Taffy started calling out the speakers. Right. And they were, she was coupling people together.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got to me. That's when the Passion of Christ came out.
Okay.
And she got to me and she said, she said, and Deneen Whatley will be speaking on the keeping your passion for Christ.
Okay.
Girl, my mouth went like, what? Did she just, what? So after the meeting, I was standing there and she was talking to some ladies and she turned over and she said, girl, she said, what did you think when I said your name? When I said, girl, I wanted to take my boot off and throw it at you. I was like, oh, no, she didn't. And she was like, and she immediately went like, oh, Deneen. She's like, oh my God. She said, when God gave me that, she said, I knew that that was you keeping your passion for God. She said, because no matter what you go through, you never lose your
That's
passion
true.
for Christ.
That's true.
And I'm like,
That is so true.
so nobody, flesh and blood could not reveal that to
No,
her.
no,
Because
no.
we had not sat down.
Yeah.
We had not communed together and had conversation
Yeah.
about my life and
Yeah.
ministry and what I've been.
Yeah.
And that was just like so amazing to
Yeah.
me. And that was the beginning. That was the, I can say that she saw in me.
Okay.
Come on now. Okay. When others didn't see in
That's
me,
true.
she saw in me
Yes. Yes.
what God had called me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
When
just
you didn't see it yourself.
when I didn't see it on that level and that platform, you know what I mean? Like, that'll never happen. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm just serving here as,
Yeah.
you know, whichever way I can, you know?
Yes.
And so I can't say there wasn't a woman. There was one woman at that time, you know, that gave me that opportunity, like, you know, I gave you that opportunity, you know?
Yeah, and I want to talk about that really quick because I just reached over to do that because, you know, I'm grateful that she did that for you because you were able to do it for me. You were able to do it for someone else, and you were able to empower other women. And I just want to let everybody know that, and I have the proof right here. I have the proof right here, and I'm going to read this. Back in 1998. 1998. We is just dating ourselves right here.
Yes, we are.
Dating ourselves in 1998. So I needed to have this boost. I was rejected from being able to go to minister's education school because I felt the call on my life. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go to med school and I'm going to, you know, go through the process so that I can answer the call of God on my life. And they told me, nope, you're just not called. And I felt bad because I felt like I disappointed God, but I knew I heard him so clearly. And I felt like I just disappointed him. So it was you, okay, who I started just stepping out to say, okay, I'm just going to following behind your footsteps, okay? Because like you said, you gave me that opportunity to come and minister at your conference that you had. You gave me the platform. And I'm like, but I don't have the credentials. And you gave me the platform to go and speak. And then here's the thing. Girl, you gave me the last spot. Now, you ain't supposed to be giving some novice the last spot of your conference. That's supposed to be the person that hit the home run and send the conference on out.
Baby, you hit the whole run. You hit the home run though, baby.
But I'm like, yo, I'm nervous through the course of the day. I mean, yeah, Betty Darnell and yeah, other speakers. I'm just like, oh my God, now I've got to come and do this. But you saw in me something that I didn't see in myself and that I actually thought I couldn't do. And you presented me a Bible. And this is that Bible. And let me tell you something. Look how pretty it is. Like, now, I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm going to try to put it right there. Okay, there you go. Do you see that? This girl, can y'all see that? Minister Lynette Jackson, Marketing God's Way. Can I just tell you, this girl in 1998, now it's 2023, in 1998, presented me with an amplified Bible with my name engraved on it. Now that's big time. You know, you got your name engraved on the Bible and it says the Holy Bible is presented to Lynette Jackson. And at that time I had a business called His Image Marketing Marketing and Outreach Consultants. And it was so presented to Lynette Jackson, His Image Consultants and Outreach. And listen, in Outreach Ministries. Now you gave me a whole ministry. Now I'm just doing consulting like I do now. Roar Media Group is the name, but it used to be called years ago. I stepped out for a minute before I ran back into corporate America. I was doing a little teaching on marketing God's way. And you gave me a whole ministry, girl. And outreach ministry. So now I'm like, what I got? What? And it was given to me by Eric and Deneen Whatley from Set Free Ministries, November 4th, 1998. And you gave it to me at the International Covenant Ministries Conference that we attended. And you gave it to me there. And I just want to say that this gift to me set the course of me taking this Amplified Bible and going and teaching. I got, all kinds of notes and stuff, but teaching Dead Man Walking. I'll never forget. I just opened up. I just opened it up to a topic that I was studying on called Dead Man Walking. And you saw in me something that I didn't see in myself. And by giving me this Bible, I have taken this Bible all around the world with me. I have taken this Bible to Canada, to Jamaica. I have taken this Bible across the seas. I have preached in London with this Amplified Bible, doing marketing God's way and outreach ministry. And here's the thing. Every time I would teach the seminar, the pastor would ask me to teach a service. No joke. I remember going to Ohio to teach the seminar. And he said, and it was during the week for his leadership and staff. And he said, can you teach my Wednesday night Bible study? Because what you was teaching came straight from the word. This is so good. Can you teach my Wednesday night Bible study? So I'll never forget. I'm saying, teach the Wednesday night Bible study. I just got my notes for marketing God's way, but it was filled with scriptures. And so God just started to minister to me about a message. And I'll never forget preaching, whatever God has for you is for you.
Yes, you did. Yes.
And I was like, okay. So you have been blessing and setting women free since definitely you set me free. And look at where I am now.
Yes.
Look at the things that I am doing now. That's why I'm grateful for your yes, because your yes gave me my yes. Your yes is going to give so many other people that listen to this podcast and hear your story. It's going to give them their yes. So you've been setting women free. And I just want to say to you, whenever you feel like you can't move and you can't go on, whenever you're feeling heavy, I speak over you right now. Whenever you feel heavy, whenever you feel like, this is just, I'm going back to bed because this is just not a good day, or I can't continue to do it. I want you to think about me. I want you to think about what you did for me. I want you to think about the women that you set free, the women that have come to your conferences, the women that have been blessed by your books, the women that have been blessed by your ministry, the women that have been blessed by your voice. Because your voice is a voice that is crying out to set women free, so no woman left behind. So I'm sorry I went off on a little preaching tangent, but I needed to share with the viewers and the listeners today just how important you are to my life, but just how important you are to so many other women's lives. And I just think we go from glory to glory, and through our pain and through our struggles and through our things, a lot of times we'll say, God, please take this thorn out of my flesh. Please take this from my side. I can't do it, Lord. I can't. He will never put anything on you that you can't bear. Because many days I said that I couldn't do this. I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything that God has called me to do. And the very institution that said that I couldn't do what God called me to do, the Lord spoke to you and say, see, I need to tap you. So when God is tapping you on your heart, telling you to encourage and motivate somebody else, do it. Just do it. Because you never know what that person is going through. And y'all have heard me say this a lot of times on this show, which is on the other side of your obedience is someone else's deliverance. So because you said yes, you gave me my yes, and you're giving countless other people their yes. So I know I went off on a little tangent, but I just want to let you know how much you bless me, how much I appreciate you, how much I love you, how much you inspire me to continue to press forward, to continue to do what God is doing. And he hasn't begun to scratch the surface of what you're going to be doing in this time for women. So if you can talk, maybe can you talk now? I don't know, maybe you can talk.
Girl, I'm like,
I
hey,
just feel good
Jesus.
that yes, because sometimes you just have to know. You never know who needs to hear that. And I don't know whether it's just for you, but if there's anybody else out there listening, answer your yes.
So you know what, Lynette? It's funny because when you said that to me, I don't know if it was like a couple of days before I was doing the conference, getting ready to do the conference. And
I know I called you on your birthday and told you what I texted you because I was crying. I found my Bible because I
found your Bible on my birthday.
On your birthday.
On my birthday. And that was a blessing for me for my birthday. And the conference was going to be in 2 weeks. And I really didn't want to do the conference. I wanted to do it like this year.
Okay.
And God said, no, I need you to do it. But I did it like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And so but when you called me that day, that really just set the course and gave me the push and the strength to do. I mean, I put the flyers out, everything like that. Then I kept hearing God saying, I said conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept thinking, that's not what this is going to be, but I didn't have a name for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I heard God say, the gathering of the elite women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said, that's a sidebar for you.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I'm sending women there that need you to push them into their destiny.
Come on now.
He said, there's going to be 9 women that are going to show up. I say, 9 women? I said, Lord, I put this. He said, it is not a conference. He said, you put it out as a conference, but it's not a conference. He said, it's going to be the gathering of the elite. He said, these women that will show up, he said, I have so much on the inside of them, and they're going in every direction. He said, and I need them to be, their course to be set aright. I need to reset them. And the only person that can help me reset them is you.
But here's something that I just heard that was really amazing. The conference wasn't just for them. It was also for you too.
Yeah.
Because the reset had to come with you first.
Right.
In order so that you will be able to have the right direction to reset them.
To reset. Exactly.
Oh, wow. That's
so powerful. I reset myself first, right? And so when I got to the, when the conference came and we were setting up, and I set up eight girl was so cute. It was the cutest little thing, girl. It was cute. And, because I'm always going to make it, I'm going to do the extra. Okay.
You're going to do excellent.
I'm going to do the extra. That's just what, Pastor Don.
No, we just call it excellence.
Excellence.
It's not extra.
The excellence, baby. We got to do the excellence. Okay. And so I did 8 sets, and I was like, but 9, I kept hearing God say 9. And I said, well, let me just set another place. And I said, because I know somebody going to come through that door that had not paid yet, and that was going to pay at the door. Sure enough, a lady showed up. Now, when I'm getting ready to do my conference, and I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because this is very important for people that are starting in ministry. Though your beginnings be small, your latter end shall be great.
Absolutely.
But your latter end being great is not always thousands of people.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. Because God only needs one person to bless you.
He just needs one.
He just needs one person. That's it. One person to show up, for you to show up, so that that person can do what God called them to do. You know. And so this woman came in, and she said, hi, I'm here for the conference. And I was like, and Tasha said, oh, okay. She's like, did you register? And I said, baby, you know me, child, baby. And the Lord told me not to put on the flyer you cannot come to the door and register and
Okay.
pay, right?
Okay.
He said, don't put that, because I usually put that, right? Because I want to prepare. I don't want anybody to show up and I don't have something for them. Okay. That's just me. And so, I and usually when I go to to have the conference, I give them somebody my phone, the conference director my phone. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. I just want to focus in on who shows up. Not that I don't care about you not coming. It's just a mere fact. I don't care about you that day. I only care about the people that are there. You know, I just prepare myself for that. And so she said, well, I'm gonna pay today. And I gave Tasha my phone. I say, well, here's do my Cash App. You know, everything is on my phone. And so set her a place setting, and it was very interactive. I mean, it was, and one of the ladies, I had 3 people that flew in, Lynette. I didn't know that they flew in, right, until we started talking. One of the girls, Tasha, that was helping me, she said that her sister was a pastor. And I was like, oh, because again, I want to set a platform for women, and I want to give them opportunity. And I said, well, can she do the opening prayer for us? Girl, she didn't tell me the lady was going to fly. The lady flew in to do the opening prayer.
See?
Can I say, look at God.
Look
the
at
woman
him.
flew in. She didn't even say, well, can I do this? Can I do that? She didn't say a word. She said, I'll be there. See, that's when you know, when you answer the call. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So she came and she said that she had some books and stuff, some journals and everything that she had written. Girl, she wrote several books, okay? I mean, beautiful journal books and stuff. And I didn't bring any books or any tapes, because it wasn't about me. It was about those women. Do you know that it was 9 women there, and she sold out of every book? I called her. They were introducing themselves, and she was talking about her next book. I said, well, baby, I said, the word told that lady, what you got in your house to sell? I said, honey, bring them books up here. Bring them books up here, honey. What you got to sell? And so she told us about the books. And I mean, one lady said, I'll buy 3 books. Oh, I'll buy what's in your hand. Did everybody? Girl, we saw 9 people. She said, you don't know what that did for me.
Yes.
And so at the end of the conference, remember the lady that showed up, right? She said in her thing, she said, oh, I'm your Facebook friend. And she said, I bought that book that you did, that you wrote with those millionaire ladies. I was like, what? She said, yeah, I was on the Zoom. Your Zoom. She said, so I've been following you. I said, oh, well, praise God. So at the end of the conference, she said, I have been really, really blessed, and I want to be a blessing. And I have never seen, I thought she was a singer, and I thought she was going to give us some CDs and stuff like that, right? So I said, oh, sure, honey, come on up. And I'm just writing and doing whatever. And she said, I have truly been blessed. And she said, now I want to bless every woman in this conference with $200. Girl,
you see what your yes did? You see what your yes did?
My mouth was like, and I was like, oh my, I was shouting because the ladies was just, girl, you don't know what they did to get there.
You don't know.
I didn't say she gave them $25.
No.
And it was cash $100.
No, so yeah, that right there speaks volumes on the fact that you answered. That's why it's so important.
It's so important to answer the call, because those women, and it's just, usually the preacher, the preacher gets some, but my heart, I've never been somewhere where everybody in the place was blessed. Yeah. And those were blessed. She said, well, you hold on a minute, because I got something for you, right? This ain't like never happened, right? Girl, I was happy for the $200, okay? Like, she was like, but I got $3,500 cash for you. 9 people.
9 people.
9 people.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah.
So don't despise small beginnings. What you think you want it to be. Just answer the call. Just say yes, God.
Yeah, just say yes.
Just say yes. Even like today, just saying yes with my hair. You see my hair growing back too, girl.
I see it's growing. Well, we're going to show some pictures, yeah.
Girl, it's curling up and everything, Reset. That word reset means to set again or differently. It means to adjust or fix something. Make it a different way. Reset priorities.
Yes.
Reset.
There are a few things that happened in that whole situation. Is we don't know what God was trying to do with this lady, okay, in her heart, okay, her level of obedience, right? Nobody knows what that was about. And so it looks like, did you freeze, Deneen? Did you freeze? I think you froze, girl. You are frozen. But I'm going to keep going because your internet might be, you should see your face. You're so frozen. But I'll keep talking. And it's that the fact that God allowed this woman to come and okay, you froze, you were frozen for a second.
Yeah, you were frozen. The whole thing was turning. I was
right?
like, I said, this ain't none but the devil.
Yeah,
devil,
you didn't want that to happen.
Good. Get out of here, devil.
Exactly. So here is the woman. You never know what the Lord is doing in women and what he's doing in people. And so when he's had her to come, that could have been just a walk of faith for her. Yeah. So a lot of times when the Lord asked me to give somebody something, I'll bless something. I remember telling my nephew one time, give me your Cash App. He's like, oh, Auntie, you don't have to give me. I said, this is not about you. It is about the fact that God's trying to get something in my hand and he's making me do it through you. So when I had to learn to receive. And so you never know what God is doing with he's teaching people how to give. Yeah. And so he is saying, I want you to come with X amount of money in cash. No Cash Apps, no anything. I want you to come with cash. I want you to go to this conference and I want you to bless the women. Just get there, do what I tell you, and I'll give you the next instructions. Thank you, hallelujah. I'll give you the next instructions once you get there. Because a lot of times if we ask God, well, why do I have to take this money? And if he told us everything, you would be like, well, that don't make too much sense to me. Well, Lord, how come? Maybe it might be 15 people. It may be 200 people. And I ain't got that kind of money. Just go and take this amount of money and do what I tell you to do next. And so you allowed her to be blessed. Yeah. She came with a blessing and then she blessed you, but she also blessed everybody.
That was the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Is that I was like, I ain't never been nowhere where the people were, she didn't get $25. Okay. She gave one. But when she gave me the money, she said, this is so no woman will be left behind. Girl, my heart, I was like, oh my God.
See?
And I had taken them out to lunch and I said, Tasha, give me my phone. And I was looking at my phone and she had sent me a message through Facebook saying that was her registration. And she said, I've got to be there for purpose.
Okay.
Yes, that's what the message said. She said, I've got to be there for purpose.
That's my point. She knew her purpose. There was something. See, we never know what a person is believing God for, what they're asking for, what they're praying for. And so God will put it on their heart to go be at this conference and to do this. She could be believing God for something humongous. We just don't know. And it was just that act of faith that she did that is going to usher her into, because seed time and harvest. I mean, if you are planting the seed, honey, the harvest is going to come. Yeah. So, we just don't know how God is going to bless a person when, and let me just say this, you have so much seed in the ground. I have so much seed in the ground. There's so many people that have seed in the ground. When it's time for us to receive, don't get the big head and say, I can't receive. Because see, I have a challenge. I'm changing that. I had a challenge with learning to receive. When people wanted to give me, I'd be like, no, I'm the giver. No, and that's just false humility. No. They'll be like, oh, you got something for me? I'm here to receive, because I've sown for it. I have sown in blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm just going to walk in the harvest that God has placed on my heart. We have some people out here that just want to say hello. You've been mentioning Tasha's name. And
hey, Tasha.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Tasha.
My good friend. Listen, Militia, this is my girl right here.
Hi, Militia.
Now, I don't know whether you heard the podcast I did with Church Girl in Prison.
No.
Please go back and this lady right here. She need to be speaking.
I preached my first sermon in prison.
Okay.
I preached my first sermon at the prison I was working at.
Okay. Yeah.
My first sermon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We need to have her on the stage because Lord Jesus,
Yeah.
she's powerful.
Amen.
Her podcast with me was really super, and she says this is very inspiring and encouraging. Thank you so much for paving the way. I am definitely set free. Again, you see this?
Wow.
Set
Amen.
free. Okay.
Remember, Lynette, remember the ministry came from Set Free Global
It came
Ministries.
from.
I said I used to
Absolutely.
lock them up, but now I set them free. And remember, it was the handcuffs with the world.
That's right.
The open handcuffs. Remember?
I
Yep.
remember. Absolutely. Set Free Ministry.
Set Free Ministry.
And Melissa says she is enjoying the wisdom so much. Tasha says it certainly shifted us.
Yeah.
So when you got your $200, it certainly shifted you, right? So, Deneen, I want to really kind of talk about, as we mentioned that I'm not my hair. I'm going to show some pictures that you sent to me, and I put them just in a little presentation. I just want to show them a little bit because I want our viewers to know that this was huge for you. Like this was a big step to do this, and even for you to come on the podcast today with
no hair, with no wig,
without your unit.
I'm just saying, people. I'm
unitless.
Without my unit
yet. But I wear my hair, my natural hair. I'm very natural, and I wear my hair in protective hairstyles because I swim a lot. Mm-hmm. So I would never be able to swim as much as I do 3 days a week. Okay, I'm in the pool with all the chlorine and things like that. I would never.
You've been doing that a while,
and I've been doing this for a long, long time. I thank you, Jesus, because I'm losing weight. Hallelujah. It's finally, it's fine. I finally see it. Jesus, thank you. All the hard work is paying off. But I would never be able to do that. So I do, it's freeing for me, and I do it out of convenience. Because I had somebody say to me, wait a minute, how do you swim as much as you swim? And then I see you a few hours later, your hair is just rocked to the side. I'm like, listen, if you don't know by now, these are units. But I love my unit, and I don't allow my unit to define who I am. But I wanted to share a few of your pictures, and I want you to just kind of help us through by telling us a little bit about what we're doing. Now, I'm going to put you. Okay, good. Yeah, there you are. My God, you are so gorgeous.
Thank you, baby.
So was this the very first night that you?
Yes, this was the morning of the conference.
Oh my goodness, the morning of the conference.
Yes, this was the next day. Yep.
Oh my goodness. So this is after you have been set free.
Yep.
Wow. Look at you. You are so gorgeous. You are so gorgeous. Oh my Lord, look at this. And so I just want us to be able to absorb all of this beauty here. With her. And so since then, I saw the reason why we're talking and doing this podcast is because I saw a reel that you did on Facebook and talk about the song that you played when you put these pictures out here that I saw. I was like, oh my God, I had to call you and say, girl, oh my God, you look amazing. And that reel blessed my soul.
I was, before I go to bed, I am a TikTok junkie. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just a TikTok junkie, right? And I love watching TikTok and the babies and stuff before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. And I came across this TikTok where it was a guy, and he was had some pictures, and he was saying, if Lord, if you don't do it, it just won't get done. Oh Lord, do it for me.
Okay, and she is a singer too.
I was sitting there, and I'm like thinking about all of the things that I had been going through, and I was like, what would resonate that would free me? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it was my hair. Okay. And I started gathering those pictures, and I'm like, I'm going to do it. I did it, posted, and went to bed.
I
didn't want to look at I woke up, and I mean, it was
thousands of people.
And what blessed me the most, Lynette, was the guy's response.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
had this one guy I hadn't talked to, girl, since probably we was like 20, in our 20s or whatever. We got an inside joke. We were crazy back then. He was crazy. So he's my one of my best friends, his her daughter's father.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something. I'm like, that's the nicest thing that he had ever said to me ever. Okay. In life. And I said, oh, won't he do it? Won't God change us? Won't he change us on both of our ends, right? And then I had another classmate, and he said, Deneen, you're beautiful from the inside
Absolutely.
out.
Absolutely.
You've always been beautiful. And then all of the other people, all of the encouragement and everything,
Mm-hmm.
that came from the people, I was not expecting that.
Right.
I literally
Right.
wasn't
Right.
expecting that. I was just expecting to set myself free.
Yeah.
I didn't get not one click or one like, because people, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, you need to put a toupee on or something, girl. Put your hair back
Mm-hmm.
on. You just never know what somebody gonna think. But at
Correct.
this moment, at this 2023, it's about me.
Yes. Yes.
I don't
Yes.
care what people think.
Yeah. When I saw the pictures, I was just so moved. I was so moved because I know that a woman's hair is her crown and glory. I know how society and even the hair industry has made us look like, if we don't have beautiful long locks, then we are just, I mean, we're nothing. We're ugly. We're just nothing. And
Yeah.
I love, oh my God, Black Panther really helped us as Black women to
Yeah.
embrace who we are. I see more women now that have shaved all their hair off and that are, out of the style, not
Girl,
out of a situation, but just
have you
out of the
seen that
style.
commercial? Have you seen that commercial with Regina King with that red hair?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. Look up Regina King red. Beautiful. I mean, her hair is short. Just the women have they're just coming
Getting
out.
free. We're getting
Just being
free.
free.
Absolutely. And so now I can see that your hair is beginning to come in here.
Look, I got the same shirt on when I took that picture.
But I can see that God is really restoring your hair, and your hair is coming in. And so you let's talk a little bit. You were losing hair on the top
In my crown
in your
area.
crown area.
In my
Okay.
crown area and to the back here.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I go I have treatments that I go and do. It's like when I first did it, when it was going, she was growing. Everything was growing,
Mm-hmm.
but it was coming in, slow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I literally said, okay, I really need to reset so that all of it can grow back together.
Yeah.
So I started going back, getting she does this hydro something thing, what she does with my hair. And my follicles, she said, when we first did it, she was like, okay. She said, we got to see if you have alopecia or not. Okay.
Got
she
it.
said, if these follicles do not come back, then we got another problem. And so we were like, fingers crossed, praying, whatever. And it was just, it started coming back. And she's like, they're alive. She's like, this is a part of stress.
Yes.
In life, and just stress.
Yes.
I know where it comes from.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see. Yeah. And so let's talk about that a little bit, because we as women, we are under a lot of stress to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You have a teenager that just went to college. So, you've got that on you, working, ministry, but there are women that are out here that are, trying to hold down jobs, and that are single women that are trying to do so many things. And then let's not forget about what the environment is doing to us, the chemicals that we are putting in our bodies, medication that we are taking for various different ailments. And I think it goes back to, I'm going to have a guy come on, he's called the Medicine Man. He's confirmed that he's going to do it, but he's going to talk about developing our bodies again from a cellular level and what we need to do to put back in our bodies. We are deficient in so many areas where it is doing it. The foods that we eat are not, we're eating processed foods. We're eating things that get to do more damage to our bodies than do good to our bodies. And
Right.
so, I know I just want us to talk a little bit about what stress will do. Stress will make you lose your hair. Okay. Stress and depression, anxiety, nervousness. And so, what are you doing now? Because we know that these are some of the things that can contribute and probably, would you say, contributed to your hair loss.
Right.
But what can you do now what are you doing now that's going to really, that's different, that's going to help you de-stress yourself?
Girl, look, get rid of the stresses of my life. Okay.
Yes.
First of all, you got to realize what that is,
Yeah.
and a lot of things, stress affects your blood pressure.
Yes, it does.
And when I made a decision to let go of my biggest stress, my blood pressure just started going down.
Wow.
Going down. I mean, tremendously, right? But stress is pressure applied to our flesh, applied to our body. Stress is a distraction to your real purpose in life.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm going to say that again for the people in the back at the church.
Say it for the ones in the back.
Okay, for the ones in the back, stress is a distraction to your real purpose in life. Stress impacts your destiny. You see where I'm going here? Okay, so you're talking about the stress is trying to keep you out of the will of God for your life.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's even dealing with your children. You're so stressed out, you can't even think of the right things, and because you're supposed to help put them on the right path. You're too busy, honey. Just go sit down somewhere. You're getting on my nerves, just stressing out. It's getting you off of your destiny. Your destiny is to be the best mom that you can be, and help those children get to the next level. You are raising up a new destiny. You're raising up new people that are going to be presidents and vice presidents. That's and right. CEOs and you stressing. Okay. When we stress, when stress is present, purpose is pending.
Oh, say that again.
When stress is present, purpose is pending.
Purpose is pending.
So now we're going to have to push that reset button to release that power again.
That's good.
See, we have purpose, pain, and power. Purpose, pain, and power. And we're working all of them. We're working toward the goal to reach the power.
That's good.
But purpose is presented to you. Pain comes in, but remember, we always are going to go to the other side. Yes. You don't set camp in the middle of pain.
Yeah. Jesus said, "Let us go to the other side."
He said, "Let us go to the other side."
We're gonna go to the other side.
And he didn't talk about what all the turbulences and the storms and the tribulations and the trials that you were going. He just said, "We're going to the other side."
We're going to the.
So we got to get to that. We got to get to that power.
We got to kind of stay laser focused on our purpose. It is a journey that's taking us, but we have to also be almost with blinders on to say, I've got to continue to do my purpose. I just wrote down something that hit me. The enemy can't kill you, but you will kill yourself.
Ooh, girl, say that again.
The enemy can't kill you. He can't, but he will make you kill yourself.
Yes.
So he cannot harm you. He cannot come nigh thy dwelling, according to Psalms 91. But you can come nigh your own dwelling. Yeah. So you could talk yourself into things and you could talk yourself out of things.
We are our worst enemies.
Absolutely. That's why you have to speak over your own life. You have to stand in the mirror. And I was sharing with you earlier when we chatted, we have to be so honest with ourselves. Let us not live a life through rosy glasses. Let's be honest. One of the things that I've realized is like, even with weight loss, I just knew I had kind of, with the pandemic and everything, everybody gained weight. I just knew, But here's the interesting thing. I was letting a scale stop me from moving towards what I'm, because I didn't want to know what the number was.
Right.
And so what you've got to do is stand there naked and own your numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you'll never know what to pray for. You'll never know what to believe God for. You'll never know what to do anything. So it's like, last year I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed with diabetes. Okay. And so I was stressed out about that. Right. And then I had to stop and say, but wait, you went on the cross and you died for diabetes. Jesus, you took diabetes. So wait. No, I got to do is I got to learn what my A1C is.
Right.
I got to face it. I've got to put that mirror in my face. And the doctor said, listen, let me say you something. I'm going to show you this mirror and you're going to see a reflection. And when you see this reflection, I don't want you to get upset about it. I want you to do the opposite and do something about what you see. Mm-hmm. And I had to own those numbers. I didn't accept, people be like, my arm ain't broken. Why you got a cast? No, my arm ain't broke. No, your arm is broke, but you believe in God for your healing. Yep, it's broken. Yeah. It was cracked. Matter of fact, you can see the x-ray. It's broken. However, what you want to do is say, thank you, God. And you do all the necessary things you need to do. Okay. Because there's a part that you have to pay. You do all the necessary things that you need to do. So I said, you know what? I know that this is reversible. I know it. So with the work of my doctor, with me doing the work, with me eating, with me exercise, I'm now 35 pounds down. But I had to first own those numbers. I had to own the numbers, Deneen. And so we have to first be able to look in that mirror and see the reflection that really is. And that comes with a spirit of humility. We have to humble ourselves. Sometimes we be like, no, I ain't no size 20. And I tell you, it's a sticker in the clothes said 20. And you be like, I'm a 4. And then like, that is a 20 reflection looking back at me. And seriously, because I had gotten up to, I was wearing 18s at one time. I had gotten up to size 18. And I would be like, but in my mind, you're supposed to think about those things that like be not
as though they were.
Girl, that was my faith. But what I had to do is say, you can get to a 10. You can get to a 4 if that's where you want to go. You can get there, but it's going to take some work. So yes, if you're suffering from stress, if you're suffering from anxiety, if you're suffering from depression, listen, it is not over.
Yeah,
exactly. The enemy has been put on this earth to kill you, you will try to kill yourself. He will put those things on you. And as you said, purpose is pending. That's all he wants to do is put the purpose out of commission to make you doubt yourself so that you don't fulfill the purpose that's on your life. And let me tell you something. He'll do hair loss. He'll do weight gain. He'll do diabetes. He'll do high blood pressure. He will do heart disease. He will do all of these things to try to get you to, get off of their purpose. My sister, bless her heart, she had a heart attack not long ago. And, when the doctor gave her the diagnosis, she was almost like, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. One of them kind of things. And she started, giving away her, if something happened to me, she had to have a pacemaker put in. If something happened to me. And I was just like, oh, stop all of that. Just stop all of that. You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because God ain't finished with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, if the enemy can get you to say, this is it, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, I think I'll eat a worm. That's when if he can get you to do that, he's done. He's defeated you. So you actually stood him in the mirror and you said, you know what? Give me the clippers. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Because that's not going to stop my purpose. Matter of fact, it's going to set so many other people free when I do it. So
it propelled me.
Nanny boo boo.
It propelled me even more.
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
And see, and what people, when you talk about being authentic and being true to yourself, we have to tell people that it's going to take days.
Yes.
It may take weeks, months, even years for that pressure to stop being applied to your flesh.
Come on, girl.
Because I'm talking about stress is pressure.
Yes.
And sometimes it's going to feel like that pressure is pressing against a nerve. But a nerve has a pressure point. It has a beginning and it
Break
has
it
an
down.
end. But the pressure is that you can't find where it begins. But you keep chipping away at that. I'm going to do this. Set me free. I'm going to be free. I'm pressing toward freedom. And eventually that hole will be released off of you. And you won't, that nerve will be, you would have like released it from the nerve off of you.
That's
and
good.
then there you go. You're free. And you're full of life and full of, you're stress free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because it comes in all forms,
Comes in
people.
all forms.
Life, marriage, work, school, friendships, creating friendships, boyfriends, husbands, pastors, teachers, mentors. It comes from food. It even comes from an analytical mindset.
Absolutely.
And that is pressure successfully applied to you. Okay.
But it also comes when you don't understand who you are in Christ and who you are and what your purpose is and all those things. Because I'll never forget, like, I have a high school education. I never went to college. Okay. And I used to feel ashamed. See, that's another shame. Shame.
Releasing the shame, girl. We got to get there. We're going to get there. That's a podcast. We're going to do that podcast.
Girl, shame will put you in bondage. Okay. And so I'll never forget, I would be around very educated, very, very educated women, AKAs, deltas, and they'd say, well, where did you go to school? And I'm going to be real honest with you. I was so ashamed that I never went to college. I was a mom at 19 and was married. Okay. I didn't go to college. And I was so ashamed. And I would say, oh, I just went to this little small community, college and things like that. I wouldn't even give them a name. Then I got good at it. I started making up names. No, because I was in bondage. I was in bondage. And it wasn't until someone asked me to do a panel on television arts and sciences at Clark Atlanta University. Okay. And I'm like, me? Okay. But I've been in the television industry for years. Okay. Even though I'm just got a 12th grade diploma. I mean, I know TV. And I went and I sat on this panel and they asked me a question. They said, well, there was questions answered. They said, what's the latest book you've read? Because, we're supposed to be all the experts, right? And I sat there and the Lord said, tell them you just read the Bible. That's the latest book. And so as I began to speak and as I began to articulate and as I began to just share my knowledge, so the person who invited me, he actually was a DJ on 91.9 Jazz FM. And he had a show on, his name was Stanley, and he had a show on Saturday mornings. And so he called me and he said, there were 5 PhDs in the audience and they've all asked me, where did she get her master's degree from?
Holy Ghost University.
Get her master's degree. And I'm sweating. I'm stressing and I'm like on the phone with him and I'm saying, and the Holy Spirit said, don't you tell another lie again about this education thing. Don't you say it. And I said, I don't have a master's degree, but I do have a degree from the master. And that man shut down. I said, I don't have a master's degree, but I do have a degree from the master. And he said, oh my God. I went on to co-host his morning show right after Tavis Smiley on 91.9 on FM in the Clark Atlanta University station for 10 weeks. I co-hosted his show with him. And he was just like, I need to have you come on my show. And then he would call me and say, and people are asking for her to come back. And I'm saying this to say shame. Okay. I look at the things that I have done. I look at the places that I have been. I look at the seats that I have sat down at, the conference tables, the people that God has put in my position, in my place, and that I've met, the ministers, the celebrities, the people that I have met, the favor that I get when I ask somebody to come, like a Ralph Sampson, would you be on my podcast? And he'd be like, okay. Like I'm about to have Hart Ramsey. Woo, Jesus, come on there. And he was like, okay. And I'm saying the favor of God that he has given me, the places, the doors he's opened. And I'm not against education, but I'm just trying to say, if you can stay on your purpose, if you can walk by how God leads and guides you, he will open up doors for you that no man will ever be able to. And then he will close doors. He will close doors that not even C4 can open up to protect you. So I just want to encourage anybody right now, because guilt comes from inside of you. And Hart Ramsey taught me this. Guilt comes from inside. It's like you did something, but shame is external. So people put shame on you. Ooh, shame on her. Ooh, shame on Deneen for cutting her. Ooh, shame on you for cutting your hair. Listen. I just want to encourage anybody today. I want you to know, do not allow guilt nor shame, because Jesus died on the cross for guilt and shame. And diabetes and stress and depression. He took it all. Yeah. He took it all himself. And I would think it would be a waste of his time on this earth for him to take all the things that he took on his physical body, and then we still walking around in bondage. I'm just, I just want to say, Militia is out here. She says, I'm going to put it up here. She says, wow, thank you for sharing this. As I only have a high school diploma. Don't make me cry, Militia. I swear, don't make me cry. And felt like I needed to go to school. This was a confirmation that God has equipped me with everything I need, even without the degree. Yes, favor will take you places that money can't. Girl,
right. Girl, say that again for the people in the back.
Say it for the people in the back, girl. Militia. Militia. I knew you and I had a lot in common, but I don't. And I used to be shamed about it. I used to be, they would say, well, where'd you go to school? Or what's your degree in? I'd be like, child, I was a barely C student in high school and barely made it. And she says she's about to cry. Oh, Melissa. But I barely was a C student. I mean, barely making it through, Lord have mercy, making it. But I know that God had his hand on me, Deneen. And it's people like you who saw that God had his hand on me. And it's people that you're going to be touching that God has their hand on them. And he's going to be using you to set them free. This show is setting so many people free. If you're watching on the replay, share this out with every woman, mother, sister, cousin, friend, wife, daughter that may be dealing with guilt, shame, dealing with the fact that maybe you've lost your hair, and you just don't feel like you can go on because you've been defined by your hair. You have not been defined by your hair. You have not been defined by your hair. I just thank you so much, Deneen.
You're so welcome. I have to
tell us about your cup.
I have to show you my cup. This might me drinking a coffee. So my cup, I love coffee cups. I love words of encouragement. So however I want to feel that day.
Oh, that's what you drink.
That's what I drink. So my cup today says, I'm trying to be awesome today, but I'm exhausted from being so freaking awesome yesterday. Okay. My son bought me this.
Oh my goodness.
My son bought me this. And he said
awesome.
and he's like, that's my mom. My mom's so freaking awesome. You know what I mean? Like,
you are so freaking awesome. And yes, you're so exhausted today because you were from being freaking awesome yesterday. Still carrying it over.
And that's what I want people, I want people to see themselves.
Yes.
Just be exhausted from being so much. But you know what that you said something about that master's the degree from the master, Lynette. You are so smart. Okay.
Oh my God.
Girl, you got so much wisdom. I mean, you've always had it from the beginning. I'm telling y'all, whenever she speaks, I'm just like right there, like I still got Marketing's God Ways book. Okay. I still have that book and it's still intact. It's still like I love that book. Anyway, And I still use that book, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Marketing God's Way. But you are so smart, and I said, y'all, this is what it looks like when you get a degree from the master.
When you get a degree from the master.
See,
I
get
don't
a
have a
degree from the
master's
master,
degree.
baby, and it'll open up doors. Baby,
Yes.
that's a degree.
Yes.
Come on, because I'm not against degrees. Okay,
No,
my baby's
I'm not.
in college.
I'm not.
I'm not against
No.
degrees, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
school ain't
Yes.
for everybody.
Yes, it's not. And
It's
my
not for
thing
everybody.
was, I would have loved to have gone to college because I always felt like, well, I kind of missed the whole college situation. But I was a mom and I was a wife.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just was like, I mean, I got pregnant at 19. I was a teen mom. And I'm pregnant at 18, had my son at 19. And so, and you know what? You know, some people are like, "Ooh, you wasted your..." No. That was the course. But God always had his hand on me because doors have always opened. I mean, you know, Deneen, because you and I,
girl, you done walked through a lot of doors.
I done walked through a lot of
doors. Oh,
listen,
my God.
I worked for the president of the Weather Channel. Now I ain't got no degree, and I'm working for the president of the Weather Channel. Okay,
and you pulled me in.
And then Deneen was like, "Girl, I'm needing a job," and I was like, "Okay, well, let's get you in here." So we both worked for the Weather Channel as senior executive assistants. But interesting enough, I have been in the C-suite ever since I started working. I figured I could be a secretary. Worst case, I could type because I took some typing. I took the typing class in high school. I could type. I could pretty much articulate, so I could answer.
But let them understand what it means to work, baby. They look for people with degrees.
Yes.
Master's degree to be actually be an executive assistant, not secretary, an executive assistant, senior executive to the CEOs and VPs and COOs.
That's right.
And you were one all the time.
And listen, when I started at Turner Broadcasting, I started as what we called a Turner temp. So, and that was my thing. It was like,
that was me, Turner temp.
I could type. And I typed, did pretty good on typing on that typewriter. That's dating myself because you're on the typewriter. I did good typing on the typewriter, and but I knew I could put on a suit and I could speak a little bit, so I could walk in and just had my little briefcase, and I just walked in Turner Temps, and they tested me, and the lady looked at me. She goes, "I know exactly where I'm going to send you." And where did she send me? She sent me right up there on 14 North. My boss had two offices. He had one on 14 North. His name was Harry Anderson. He was executive vice president of finance and operations. And he had an office at 10th Street, and he had an office on 14 North at CNN Center. He had two offices. So I had to travel back and forth. And I'll never forget the girl that I was replacing. Her name was Pam. And she was going to be, she had a baby, and she decided that she wanted to go home. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real. Me and you we're going to be real.
We're going to be real.
They're not letting too many of our color be on that level. We just weren't there.
Yeah. It's hard to get there.
It's hard to get
there.
Yeah. It's really, really hard to get there.
Because you're representing.
And I walked in there, and I met with Harry, and I met with Pam. And she started training me on how to do things. But the thing for me was I started learning from Harry and learning Harry's systems. And then I started getting ideas on how he could run his office a little bit better. And I started putting systems in place. Harry goes on to get a job at Coca-Cola. I don't even know if he's still there. His name's Harry Anderson. I don't know if and he said to me, "I like you so much, Lynette." He goes, "In my deal, I said, if Coke hasn't provided me with assistant that I like, I'm coming to get you." And so I was like, okay. So he went and talked to the CFO and said, please keep her around. Keep her around. I may come and get her, but keep her around. She's very good. Keep her employed. So I just went temping. Listen, he left. I should have been. There's nothing else for me to do.
Right.
But what they did was they made me be the temp for the senior executive assistant. So whenever they were out, I would work for this person. I would work for that person. Well, when you get the whole executive team behind you, they start working for you.
Right.
So they were putting Harry's replacement in, who already had his assistant for 10 years. 10 years. And when his assistant, his replacement came, this man's name was Dan Darling.
I remember.
Dan the Darling. I still love Dan. He's still the boss. He's still the boss. Okay. Dan Darling. Dan had worked for Turner Studios for years, and so they were elevating him and putting him in Harry's position. And he had his assistant for 10 years. And he interviewed me, and he said, okay, I think, let me just think about it. I said, well, you think about it. I'm going to pray about it. That's exactly what I said. I'm going to pray about it. And I prayed about it, and the Lord told me I was to be his next assistant. And so he called me in his office, and he said, listen, I thought about this, and I even talked to my wife about this. And I like what you said. You said you were going to pray about it. And I'm a Christian. And I said, oh, thank you, Lord. And he said, and I prayed about it. And the Lord said, you are the one for me. Now, the Lord said those were the words that were exchanged. And I said, well, that was the same thing that I got. He said, well, then let's just do this. And he made his old assistant stay for his replacement at Turner Studios. She went on to stay with his replacement, and he took me.
Right.
Little old me. I went on to work with this man for 10 years, and I saw him through 4 major promotions. So he started as senior vice president, and he ended as chief information officer. So God had me in the C-suite all the time, like in places that I shouldn't have really been. And so I'm just saying this to say, God has his hand on you. I don't know who that was all for. That was such a rabbit trail.
That was for somebody, though.
That was for somebody. Do not despise the fact that you think you may not have what it takes. But I'm going to say this, what Jeremiah said. God told Jeremiah, I put my words in your mouth.
Come on now.
And so what I knew to me, when I answered the call and I read that story of Jeremiah and his call, what the Lord said to me was, nothing can stay the same when it comes into the presence of God. So if you can't talk, when he touches you, you'll talk. If you can't see, when he touches you, you'll see. If you can't walk, you will walk. If you're not educated, you will be educated.
Right.
You will have everything you need to perform the job. Right. And then I went on from there to do C-suite at Weather Channel, working for the president. It's like, I mean, who does this with my little old education, writing down words and looking them up, Listen. If God can do it for me, he can do it. Because they would say things. I'd be in a meeting and they would say things and I just write that stuff down and say, man, make sure you look up what that means because you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue what that word means. What is VOD? What is VOD? They keep talking about VOD. What is VOD? At that time, it was video on demand when video on demand was coming out. But I would not allow things. And then here's something else. Our bosses always got PowerPoints presented to them because on that level, the assistants didn't have to do the PowerPoints.
Right.
Let somebody always do. So I would always say, 1 PowerPoint for you and 1 PowerPoint for me. I would make a copy of that PowerPoint presentation and I would read it and I would learn the business and I would look up the words and then I would take the PowerPoints apart. And then I would redo them and I would figure out how that transition came in. And I taught myself PowerPoint. And I am like a guru now. I'm the PowerPoint guru. Yeah. But it takes you just knowing and understand when God has his hand on you and you have purpose, nothing can stop you but you.
See, and all of this ties into reset, Lynette.
Reset.
Just resetting.
Somebody needs a reset tonight.
Somebody needs a everybody on here need a reset. Okay?
Everybody needs a reset.
Everybody need a reset. Just reset, darn it. We say reset. You just reset.
Reset. Absolutely. Everybody on here. Deneen, this has been so good. I know we're an hour and 30
Girl,
minutes
we
in.
30 minutes over, but you
We're
know, we
30
get
minutes
talking.
over, but when we get to
That's all
talking,
right.
this has blessed so many people. Thank you, Militia. Thank you for Tasha and everybody that's out here. There's still people out there with us right now that are watching and listening. If this has been a blessing to you, please like and share this podcast. We're 1 year old today, and I decided that I was going to come on this and do this podcast come hell or high water, whichever, that's the weirdest saying it is, but it
I know
is.
it
But y'all,
is.
it's like
Hell
hell
or
or
high
high
water.
water. What is it? But I was going to make sure that I come, because if one person's life is changed, I did my job.
Yes.
And so I pray today that you were able to glean something from this. So Deneen, before we leave, would you just please look in this camera and empower and set somebody free, not necessarily just a woman, but set somebody free?
I would say this: you matter.
Oh, that's good.
You matter. You are worth it. You are worth everything.
Oh, wow.
Everything that God has for you, you will accomplish that, because you are worthy to be in this room. You are worthy to be in the space that you are occupying right now. When you walk into a room, you possess it. You own it. You are worthy. Those words right there will take you from glory to glory. You understand me? Do you hear me? Man, woman, child, beast, whatever. You are worthy. You matter.
You matter. You say it don't matter who. Right.
It don't matter who.
Yes.
You matter. And don't let anybody come in and tell you that we believe the word.
Yes. Yes.
We believe the word.
Yes.
If the enemy tells you you ain't gonna be nothing and you ain't worth nothing, guess what? He lying. He's the father of lies. You say, "Oh, I must be somebody."
You must be somebody.
You tried it.
Yes, because it goes against the grain of what the word says.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what I would leave. Just know that you are worth everything that God put on the inside of you. And you can do this. You got this, man, woman of God. You got this.
You got this. Oh, you know what? I love that. You matter. So if you take away everything from today, just know that you do matter. Deneen, thank you so much. Girl, we're going to have you come back.
Thank you for having me. Oh, I'll be back. Yes.
We're going to have you come back because you set us free today. And I am just so grateful for your love and your friendship. Thank you for believing in me. And listen, because I'm one of God's favorites. So
I know that's
a big blessing for you, honey, because you blessed one of God's favorites. And so we all are God's favorite, but you have to own it. And I own mine.
That's right.
I don't have to deny it. No, I own mine. Exactly. I am one of his favorites. So thank you so much. I love you to life.
Thank you.
And I just pray continued blessings on you and your ministry. And let's go ahead and let's not leave no woman behind.
No woman left behind. Thank you.
No woman left behind. All right. Thank you so much. Well, guys, you can tell, like, we had a ball. And that is my boo from the boo, from the boo, from the boo. That's my girl. And I am just so grateful that she was just able to just be so free and to share some of the things that were on her heart. Militia, she just has one. She says, I matter. I enjoyed this, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing all that you have. God bless you both. Militia, thank you so much for supporting the Speak Out Loud podcast. And I am just so grateful for your friendship as well. And I just want to let you guys know that please like and share this podcast and share it with somebody that may need to be set free today. Well, until next week, remember that God loves you. I love you. But most importantly, learn to put some love in yourself. Bye for now.
You've been watching Speak Out Loud, the story behind the brand with your host, Lynette Jackson. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. And until next week, don't forget to use your voice to speak out loud.